Sometimes I wear the hat, sometimes I don't. Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses. Gang, now this is a reaction to Man Discovers Nightmare Hidden in His Garage. Bro, you don't stay there, you don't use that garage? You did it. He did it. Make sure you like this video. Let's go.
Oh, dude. I'm really sorry for what you're about to see.
They're gonna have to call a hazmat crew.
1, 2, there's 2 here.
Yeah, 1,
2.
3, right
Uh-huh.
there.
When a foul odor begins to fill a family home, residents inspect their garage, only to find a scene of unimaginable horror. The following report is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.
He did it.
On November 15th, 2024, in
Battleground where? Oh.
Battleground,
okay.
Washington, a police sergeant arrives responding to an animal cruelty report from a man named Zeus, who says he forced entry into their locked garage after his grandfather noticed a foul smell.
Why
Inside,
you had to force entry? See, I don't believe it. Nigga, you stay there. You don't got a door on the inside of your home that leads to that garage. I don't know. It's kinda sketchy.
he found several deceased dogs. He
What?
claims they belong to his cousin, 35-year-old Andre Twilliger, who left several days ago. Zeus shares with the officer a few chilling observations that offer only a glimpse into the nightmare he'll soon see for himself.
You just see the
Oh, you can smell it from out here, dude.
sitting on top of the rotting carcasses, and then sitting in like the rib cage of,
Yeah.
I don't know, like forced to eat their puppies. But I
God.
looked over and I see the grave, so he knew that they were in there just
That they were
dead,
dying.
decomposing, and didn't do about it. And it looks like there's already I'd imagine that's a grave right there.
Okay, I don't know if anything is actually in there or if he was just prepping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro, I'm thinking that you found like human remains or like something human. See, now, I don't want to sound ignorant. I don't want to sound racist. But this is why the black community was so outraged when we heard about the whole Michael Vick situation, especially knowing that he didn't stay there. But white people and black people, animals just have a different place in our two communities, which is unfortunate. But I don't think I know any black people. I probably met you guys, but I don't think I know any black people that will call the police over some dogs. But Aaron, dogs are people too. No, they're not. That's why they're called dogs. Some of y'all look like dogs in the face, but I'm not calling the police on my cousin over some dog. This is multiple felonies, bruh. Your cousin's gonna go to jail, prison, be put on parole or probation, and he's probably gonna have to be on some kind of registry over some dogs, bruh. And shout out to all the dog people. I don't mean to offend you. I'm not putting my cousin in prison at all, but especially over some animals.
All right.
RIP to
An
them
animal
dogs.
control officer arrives to join the sergeant in examining the garage, but first learns that not all of the dogs inside have perished.
Well, that's a blessing.
There are 4 live dogs, 2 puppies right here in the front door. I brought them in last night and gave them some food and water.
Okay.
2 alive big dogs. They seem pretty friendly. They got a little aggressive when I went in there to feed
Yeah,
them.
I
But
bet they
So
did.
did he just leave like yesterday or something?
my grandpa said he hasn't seen them for 2 or 3 days, so that's when he asked me to go in there last night. I mean, there's graves on the side of the house, so we knew the dogs were dead and just rotting in there.
Well, maybe he
It
just
doesn't look like
forgot.
anything is in the grave, but it looks like he dug in preparation for one of them dying. The grave looks empty, but since the rain has fallen, it's kind of
Actually,
corroded in there.
horrific in there.
Yeah.
He locked me out of the garage. No one could get in there.
So how many dogs did he have that you're aware of? 4?
I only knew of 2 dogs, his 2 friendly dogs, but me and him, we don't talk really. He
Okay, fair enough.
kind of just pops in here and causes a bunch of trouble and then leaves. But there's a lot of dead dogs in there, and I don't know how many.
The sergeant and animal control officer each put on a gas mask and gloves before heading inside the garage.
That's all you have to do.
Absolutely.
That's all you had to do, bro. Go down to Home Depot, ask for a gas mask, some gloves, which is kind of sketchy, and then just finish it off. Not put your cousin in prison. And then I would have called him like, bruh, what do you have going on here, sir? Put a bandana around your face real quick. Get you some dishwashing gloves.
This is honestly worse than I thought it was going to be.
Worse. Why y'all got all that
I don't
shit
know.
in the
Looked like something
garage?
sparked. Yeah. Careful. I got an extinguisher if we need one. Just let me know. I think it was that cord. It must have a short in it.
That's probably how they
God,
stupid asses.
Reports note that the garage is filled with trash and that the floor is
Are y'all gonna tell him about this faulty wiring? Because that could burn down their house, and it's a water heater right there. So, yeah.
in animal feces and urine. The filth and debris obscures the full scope of the horror, making it a challenge to locate and count the dead.
They're going to have to call a hazmat crew.
A
Oh,
detective
sure.
will return later, uncovering the grim truth of exactly how many dogs lay buried in the debris. For now, the sergeant heads inside to speak with Zeus and Andre's grandfather, as well as locate the living dogs.
Oh, yeah, see, these are new puppies. Nice. Hello, puppies. Hello.
And then the two big adult dogs are in the laundry room.
So these guys were in the crate with the dog that's dead, and
There was a cage that looked like this out there, and that's where we found them. It was a little bigger, but it was just full of dead puppies.
I didn't get that. But I didn't see dead puppies. Did you see dead puppies?
Big dogs, not dead
I saw
puppies.
dead dogs.
He probably didn't want to
So
look
what
at
can you
it.
tell me about the dogs with Andre?
Well, he showed
He's
up
looking
there
out the
a few
window,
months ago
paranoid.
with a couple of dogs. One of them ended up having puppies, and he'd be in and out. And I never questioned him because he's my oldest grandson.
He further explains that he was unaware the animals had expired, likely a while ago, because he hadn't been in the garage himself for months.
He was unemployed.
Bro, why you letting people in the crib, in and out the house, and you don't investigate what they were doing in that garage? Whether or not you go in there for months, look, let's say you have a house with a house with a couple guest rooms and a garage, and you don't really go in those guest rooms because you don't need to, because you're not a guest, and you don't go in your garage because you just park your car outside or whatever. You don't have a car, which you should if you have a big ass house. But whatever the case may be, let's just say for the sake of the scenario, you don't. Bro, if you have people coming in and out that guest room, let's say you have a cousin that, you know, he doesn't really stay in that town, but he likes to come visit the rest of the family, and he, you know, stays at the guest room maybe like once a month, something like that, a couple times a year. Every time he uses that guest room, check the guest room. Check it thoroughly. Don't just, well, I don't know. Nah. If you let this man go in your garage, you need to check to see what's in there after he leaves.
He doesn't do anything at all except
Yeah,
stay at
he's,
the house.
I
And
don't know
there's
where
a
it's
bag
at.
full
He's
of
here.
dog food right here that he wasn't using to feed the dogs at all.
Yeah, normally he took care of them, and I never questioned it because I'd always ask him, everything okay? How's the dogs? They're all fine. And then come to find out they're not. And that's,
Yeah, he was just trying to hustle dogs because he's unemployed, which is decent money, but you need a license for that, sir. That's illegal. Nah, I'm not even like that. But I mean, he got in over his head because he met some girl, and she gave him just a little bit of game, but he definitely doesn't like dogs on this level to be breeding them, because he let them expire, as the grandpa said. But yeah, that's all that was, bro. He never fed them. 9 times out of 10, he was on D-rugs, and he just, for real, like legit, was just high and forgot. But yeah, like, bro, if anything, all you had to do was just cut the bag open and just leave it open, and they would have handled business.
Because my grandson there and his girlfriend went out to take care of him and found all this problem.
Yeah.
So, because I was, what's the old adage? I had my head buried in the friggin' sand.
Not judging you.
Oh, I know. It's just it bothers me because I did not see it.
Yeah.
And I'm usually pretty sharp about what goes on in my house, but you know,
No,
trying to
you're
be a
not.
nice guy and have people.
You haven't been in your garage in months, and it shows. That garage is filled with appliances and all kind of weird stuff and dressers and desks. That's not responsible, bro. Like, that's not what you do, bro. You could have made probably $1,000 with all the stuff in there. You got refrigerators, bookcases, Benjamin Franklin's teeth. Like, bro, what do you got going in there, bro?
Stay here.
Phone cases and shit.
Go for that and just come out and bite me in the ass. And I don't know where he's at. Last I heard, he was up north. I don't know whether that's true or not.
With Andre absent from the scene and unable to account for the travesty, they prepare to leave, instructing the family to leave the garage undisturbed for now. The living dogs are taken by the Humane Society for care and treatment. In their report, they note the puppy's fur was covered in soft and liquid feces, and one of the adult dogs was determined to have recently been pregnant and nursing. 4 days later, on November 19th, a detective accompanied by an officer returns for a more thorough examination of the garage. It's during this second search that they make a series of increasingly horrific discoveries, each more gruesome than the last.
Okay. I don't know a whole lot about what's going on here, besides saying there's some dead dogs in there. So
Did you bring your mask?
No. Oh, dude. I'm really sorry for what you're about to see.
They just left it?
it's all right, man. Been doing this job long enough. I've definitely seen some other things.
If you're able to, I prefer since you have the gloves. Sure.
Man, open the fucking door, pussy.
5, David 1. Go for it.
It'll stay lifted off the way.
15.
Come on, look at this. Folding chairs.
Doesn't put this dog in a vice and like try to cut it in half.
What?
Is that the kind of information you're getting?
Yeah.
You see what I'm looking at here?
Yeah.
It looks like some sort of vice, or the dog got stuck in it.
That's
It
probably
doesn't.
what happened. Why you got that?
Dog with his legs
Yeah.
and feet.
Yeah.
Was there other dogs in here?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like there was.
So they probably started eating each other.
Yeah, dude.
The dog closest to the garage door, described as a white and black pit bull, was found decomposing with the rearmost portion of his pelvis and back legs missing. The detective finishes putting on his protective gear before going inside to examine the rest.
Do you know any history on this guy?
Yeah, it looks like I didn't finish reading it, but in Camas, he had a similar situation happen in Camas.
Oh my God.
Though the date is unknown, reports note that the Camas Police Department responded to a call of a deceased pit bull in a plastic tote alongside the road. Using a microchip scanner, they learned its name was Captain, and he belonged to Andre.
So this dude is just stupid. You cannot just leave a dog with a microchip on the side of the road where everybody could see it in a plastic bag. Are you dumb? Yeah, this dude, does he have any drug charges? He's on the West Coast, so it's either meth or H.
Investigation concluded the
This
dog
nigga's
had been
dumb.
struck by a vehicle.
He said
You could have just called the police for
horses
that.
and some puppies or something like that.
Yeah, so there's gonna be, I think they found one in that kennel back there, or they mentioned one kennel. There's one behind that mattress.
5, David 1.
So they just left that dog there, half eaten?
Yeah, under
They're foul.
mattress, the one behind that.
It's a garbage can right there. All you have to do is throw
Oh,
it
yeah.
away.
A second dog, described as another black and white pit bull, is found beneath the workbench, lying on its side, mostly intact.
One,
Over here,
two,
messing up the money,
there's two
boy.
here.
Yeah, 1, 2,
Two.
3, right
Uh-huh.
there.
3.
And there's a bunch of puppies here.
A bunch of
At least
puppies.
3 puppies.
Yeah, this dude is, yeah.
A third and fourth dog were located inside a metal kennel near the fridge, distinguishable from their refuse by their skeletons, which were partially exposed. Another was found near the back of the garage.
6. Bro, you got 6 deceased dogs in a garage and you just left? Who is this nigga?
Inside
Okay, look, to be honest with you, I would have been like, bro, you need to come get this, because you gonna have people walking around my house. I could smell this coming from the sidewalk, bro. All these joggers and shit. Come on, bro.
plastic crate, its door blocked by
They're
debris.
partially responsible for
Inside was
this.
a cut open bottle with some dog food, though there was no bowl of water inside.
Stupid,
Their
man.
examination concludes with a devastating tally. 5 dogs have perished. Though they took note of and
thought they
photographed
said-
the supposed gravesite, the report makes no mention of whether they found any dogs buried there. Outside, Zeus continues to share more insight into Andre's possible mental state.
Let's
Had
see.
nothing but free time. We just sat around doing nothing while he was gone through running in here.
Man, he was getting
There's this
high.
like extension cord coming from the attic, which I imagine it leads to a camera, because he was saying that people were spying on him in the attic, so he had to put cameras up there to stop
That's
them
that meth.
spying on him. So that's why I imagine the extension cord probably leads to a camera.
I'm sorry you had to deal with this and see this, man.
I'm just glad I came out here when I did, you know?
Yeah.
No,
At least
you
some
could
of
have
the
did that
dogs are
days
safe.
ago.
Yeah.
The officer and
Sounds
detective
like
head
weeks.
inside to speak with Andre's grandfather one more time, and before they leave, get a shocking update about Andre.
When was the last time that he was here at the house?
Like 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
He stopped by 2 days after the initial report, so
Let me guess.
Sunday.
Let me guess. He's out of there. Watch.
And then Terry was telling me that he told him to leave. He didn't tell him not to come back.
Why they didn't contact the police is unclear, and his whereabouts after he left were unknown. As for those who met their tragic end inside the garage, a letter written by a forensic veterinarian later explained that due to the state of decomposition, necropsy wouldn't have been able to reveal a definitive cause of death for the animals, attributing their causes of death to a combination of starvation, lack of nutrition, and/or dehydration, and that the dog decomposing by the overhead door was likely cannibalized by the living dogs in an attempt by them to stay alive. In her summary, she writes, "The animals, both living and deceased, suffered immeasurably," and describes their experience as akin to torture. Ultimately, the deceased dogs were taken by the Humane Society for disposal. A warrant to arrest Andre was requested for suspicion of 5 counts of animal cruelty in the first degree and
Suspicion.
4 counts of animal cruelty in the second degree. According to a Facebook post from the city of Battleground, Washington, on March 7th, 2025, 35-year-old Andre Twilliger was located and taken into custody hours after
Bro, you doing this at 35?
their initial post for information from the public. It's unclear what charges he faces, if any, at this time. On December 13th, 2024, all 4 of the living dogs reportedly gained weight and were determined to
That's
have
what's
no
up.
medical concerns. All 4 were later adopted.
Ah, man, I don't know. They ate other dogs. I don't think they're. Well, what do I know? I'm not a. Okay.
This is
okay.
21-year-old Marie Avalos.
All right. Well, you will be next.
On April 23rd, 2025,
Hold on, man.
Boca Raton police
Tryna follow
responded.
this. But it is what it is. It's not what it's not. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the band. You the band. We the band together, man. Let's in the bread breather. Make sure you like this video. Peace. Okay.